Puma, why was this in the back of your car? What could you possibly be doing with this?
That was Halloween of 2022.
Oh my God.
At the gym, and we were all skeletons.
Wow.
So
I could have swore he was pulling bank robberies or something on the way over
I
here.
was like The Town.
Len, check the news. You see anything?
Like The Town. You ever seen
Oh my God, it's kind of scary.
Who's the
You're kind of like Ben Affleck.
Ben
right
Affleck,
now.
yeah. So
all right, calm down. Well, welcome to the Fantasy Wise Guys. We are here, Myke Meals,
Joey Puma.
Be sure to make sure you like, comment, subscribe to our page. We've been getting a lot of subscribers lately. I'm loving it.
We got to keep going.
Tell your friends about it because season is approaching and we got a lot of news.
Absolutely.
A lot of things, Puma. Are you excited?
Oh, am I excited? Are you kidding me? I couldn't even go to sleep last night thinking about this episode.
Puma's getting into like draft mode. I'm like in the middle of the season, like in the summer, I wasn't really like intimidated by him. And now as the season approaches and I'm like a little closer, I'm getting nervous because he always knocks me out of the semis, but not this year.
Time will tell, right?
Yeah. Let's see if we even make it there. But anyway, a lot of news to cover.
Yes.
A lot of preseason activity.
Absolutely. We have some games that we had to get to, some key moments, a lot of moving parts. You know, this weekend and the next Labor Day weekend, big draft weekends for our subscribers out there, fans out there. You know, so we're gonna be here for you, and you know, click in.
I hope most of you have waited till after today at least to start your fantasy draft because we got some big news today. Puma, lead us off. What was the big breaking news today?
Well, Brian Robinson of the Washington Commanders gets traded to San Francisco for a measly 6th round pick. So for me, that tells me that he was just a guy in the nation's capital. You had lots of parts there: Austin Eckler, Christian Rodriguez, and you know the new guy Bill Kofsky. This just signifies to me that because of that surplus, Brian Robinson was expendable. And if you saw this past Monday night's game, you could see that they were working in those other running backs.
Yeah.
And that they just felt comfortable going forward with those guys. And, you know, just giving Brian Robinson to the San Francisco 49ers for nothing. I mean, it adds insurance for Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers. The only thing is, Myke, my question to you is, do you think this taints CMC's value in the first round a little bit?
Honestly,
because you know now you have 3 running backs. Now you have 3 running backs.
100%.
You have Garindo. People were saying he was hurt. He just made it back to practice. This morning.
Patrick Taylor's hurt over there in San Francisco.
Yeah, Patrick Taylor's done for the year.
Yeah, he's out.
You got CMC, of course, and now you got Brian Robinson. So is CMC still the strong candidate, or as the year progresses, or in the beginning, are they going to go committee backfield?
I think now he enters the territory of a low-end RB1, high-end RB2. Maybe not right away, but listen, Brian Robinson is going...
Who are we talking about? CMC,
Christian
right?
McCaffrey,
Right.
Brian Robinson Jr. will definitely take some carries and touches away, but that doesn't change the fact that he's going to be the focal point of Shanahan's offense. Does Brian Robinson now, though, does he get a little bit more value, knowing, God forbid, CMC does go down? I mean, he'll be right in that Jordan Mason role, just like Shanahan's offense, run scheme, heavy run team. I think he'll be great. But yeah, if Garendo's there, it could be a mess of problems.
Yeah, for me, this really doesn't move CMC in the rankings. I just wouldn't bank on him early.
Yeah.
He is coming from the injury from past season.
Tendinitis and his Achilles.
Yeah, I would just watch out. But towards the end or mid, if he makes it through the season, CMC could still be a league winner. Again, just watch the situation.
But again, now let's talk about the Commander side. Let's talk about this guy, Jacori Krosky-Merritt, who I didn't even know existed until 3 weeks ago.
His name's Bill.
They call him Bill, a.k.a. Bill, making a lot of fantasy noise in the community. I mean, all of a sudden, this guy gets some opportunities. he tears it up in this couple preseason games, and now they got rid of Brian Robinson. Like, how much do you think that the Commanders believe in this guy, and is he going to be a valuable fantasy asset? Are
Myke,
people going to reach for him like crazy?
I think all of the above. I think the Commanders obviously felt that they could move on from Brian Robinson. So Bill is a real thing.
He is a real thing.
Now, is he being overvalued right now? Absolutely. We've only seen tape of 2 preseason games. He's not any Jim Brown by any means right now, but he is a hot name to keep in mind. And for the right price, ADP wise, right? He's going in the 11th or 12th round right now. If we get him around there or the 10th round, sure, I don't mind a flyer.
Yeah.
But by the time some people's drafts will take place, which is after Labor Day, his stock is only going to be rising and his hype even more so.
Big time. And so pay attention to this guy. If you didn't know who he was, just like I didn't,
Now you do.
It's for a real reason, because last year he wasn't even eligible for the draft. Some issues because of the 2 universities that he played in, but he had a very successful 2023 season at the University of New Mexico. And this is, I guess, the same guy that they're talking about now. A lot of potential, and he's, on the rise. So pay attention.
Absolutely.
Now, Emeka Egbuka officially named the wide receiver 2 for the Buccaneers. Godwin expected to miss a couple of weeks. McMillan now severe neck injury. He's going to be gone. This is huge.
It's huge. He does take that Chris Godwin role.
Yeah.
Godwin was placed off the PUP list, but again, it's probably for a little bit of practice. I think when he starts the season, he will be on there until October. Jalen McMillan, right, as we just mentioned, hamstring injury. He's down for the count for now.
No, it's a neck injury.
Oh, it's a neck injury. I'm sorry.
Injury, yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's Myke Evans and it's Egbuka.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that you hear out of camp, another one. Hype is going to be raised on him, and deservedly so. I feel like in that offense with Baker Mayfield, he can be a PPR machine.
And I think a lot of people are going to reach for guys like Emeka now, or Bill, as we say, Jacori, Krosky-Merritt. I feel like, and some other guys that we're going to mention. It's important to know the value and be realistic. There's going to be a lot of hype on these guys. Don't get me wrong. Egbuka's unbelievable. He's somebody that I want on my team so badly, and he's going to be a hot commodity in that draft.
Myke,
people are going to reach.
I feel like this year more than ever, the rookies are on the rise.
They're so hot.
Don't you feel like every guy we mention, whether it's a breakout,
Everybody,
or a sleeper, or someone of a news and notes, it's all rookie based. And I guess my what I would just try to come across and say to the viewers out there is that don't worry about league experience and it's their first year. At the end of the day, we're in the business to win. So if Emeka Egbuka or Bill or any of these options make you win, that's what you go for.
Big time. Yeah, and honestly, I love the durability. Young, fresh meat.
Fresh legs.
With all due respect, of course. But yeah, these guys are just young, and they're so much, just so much more durable in terms of like injury prevention. They're not getting hurt as much. They're obviously way more endurance, stamina. Anyway, listen, pay attention. So Jalen Polk, another receiver, not that notable, but he's going to miss the whole season with a shoulder injury. So he's on the New England Patriots. As you know, this guy is now a bust. I think you cannot rely on him anymore. But there's a couple of guys over there, DeMario Douglas. Who else we got? We got Pop Douglas.
Kyle Williams
now, rookie. Maybe pay attention to him.
You still have the tight end.
Diggs.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. The tight end, you still have Hooper and Hunter Henry. I am not really always a big believer in Patriot wide receivers. I mean, I was listening in the car, and someone had mentioned the receiver in the 15 years of the Patriots, only one has even been able to go over like 1,000 yards.
Oh, Randy Moss.
No, if I told you, you'd never believe it.
Get out of here! Don't even tell me Wes Welker.
Braxton Berrios.
What?
With another team. So we're talking about just with another team. He lasted there for like a year, maybe, Berrios.
Yeah.
So, So I would. I am
temper
not
your expectations.
Temper your expectations. I'm not a true believer in Patriot wideouts.
That's a good take, though, and I probably couldn't agree with you more. But, Drake made second year, maybe something Patriots
No.
maybe a last round,
Hyper
throw it
talented.
on your
Yeah,
bench.
no. Uber talented kid, and with Vrabel, I feel like this can be a breakout year for him. But Vrabel's all about the defense, run game. Let's see.
Let me ask you a quick question. Here's the news and notes, but I'm going to turn it into a little segment real quick. So let me ask you, Puma. 2 starting quarterbacks just got named the starter for the new team. Daniel Jones, the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. Is this bring the value of the players higher or lower? Stock up or stock down?
For the Indianapolis Colts, their skill position stock up.
Stock up.
This is a guy that I was hoping would be named the starter, and I had mentioned it on past shows before. Look at Daniel Bellinger with the tight ends in the past. Evan Ingram's last year, I believe, departing. It wasn't terrible. Daniel Bellinger. I mean, these were the tight ends that the Giants supplied, but he actually got them a couple of touchdowns. I feel like with a Tyler Warren, somebody who I can truly see as this year's Brock Bowers, can survive in this offense.
Yeah.
Now with a Daniel Jones. Richardson couldn't even throw to Len.
You couldn't trust any of the
No.
Colts receivers under Anthony Richardson.
Except Alec Pierce.
Exactly, and I feel
And
like
if you needed a dart throw.
I was going to say, and that has to be a boom or bust. And I feel like if anything, anybody else other than Richardson is a boost in
And
in
Jonathan Taylor, JT, biggest winner. In the goal line,
Oh, for
Daniel
sure.
Jones could do some play action and bootleg and run around. Majority of the time, it's gonna be JT.
I think a lot of people are sleeping on him too, so keep an eye.
Yeah.
So let's ask the number 2 quarterback, Joe Flacco, back to the Browns. Name the starting quarterback. Skill positions, stock up or stock down?
I think it's another stock up. I mean, I know some of the rookies, Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders had some good camp and good preseason. But Mike, at the end of the day, the men play on Sunday, and the game is faster. Joe Flacco, Super Bowl champion, done it before, and you saw when he had Njoku and Jerry Jeudy, he can bring that team back to life.
Totally.
And it was actually Winston with Jerry Jeudy
It was
last
Winston
year.
with him, yeah.
But Flacco with
Amari Cooper and David Njoku.
Right, like 2 seasons ago, really brought their value back up. I could see him do the same with Jerry Jeudy, a la Jameis Winston last season.
I think Jerry Jeudy, Njoku, and even Charles Tillman, I feel like all these guys are sneaky ads, and not many people are high on them, so you might get them for good value. Great take, though. Daniel Jones, Joe Flacco, name the starters, stock up for these positions.
Good for the skill positions.
Good for the skill position. So let's quick recap of preseason. Week 2, some notable things. One notable thing, the number 1 pick, Cam Ward of the Tennessee Titans, his connection with Calvin Ridley. Although they didn't complete many passes, you could see the skill and you could see the connection. I think it's great, and it could make a great little sneaky stack.
Yeah, I've mentioned this in past episodes that this can be a sneaky stack of the year. Last year, I had a Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin stack. So I feel like this is a stack that ADP-wise won't cost you much. And let's just say the Titans have a bad defense. Same game script as the Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to have to throw a lot. Cam Ward's going to have to run a lot. I feel like it makes good for fantasy.
Yeah, and let it be known, Calvin Ridley, he's still very talented. He's he's actually 30 years old now. I'm sorry, he's not only, but he's 30 years old now. But last year, he still had over 1,000 yards in the air. And I think that, possibly now with this rookie, you're going to be hyper-targeting him. Cam Ward could probably do much better than Will Levis. He might be a good little 6th, 7th round value, which is where he's going right now. And if people sleep on him, you can maybe get him later. Like a nice little chance of a flex play.
Absolutely.
So another thing, I think you love this, Puma. You saw the Jalen Milroe.
Yes.
Jalen Milroe getting a lot of rushes, and they're actually even incorporating him with Sam Darnold in the backfield.
Yeah, I love this from a scheme-wise, but from a fantasy standpoint, like real football, this is great, right? But from a real football standpoint, Jalen Milroe should not be drafted unless it's like a super flex league or 2 quarterback league. For right now, Jalen Milroe should only be on someone's watch list. Again, like we've mentioned in previous episodes, those bench spots could be priceless going into the season. Everything looks great and gravy. You want your guys going into it, but as the season goes on, those bench spots become a premium.
I'll also say I'm a little concerned for JSN going in the 3rd round right now because JSN is obviously a super talented player, but in this Mike McDonald offense that is really run heavy, you got Charbonnet, now you got Milroe, and you obviously have Kenny Walker III. I'm worrying if he might not see as many targets that declare a 3rd round value.
Yeah, especially with a new quarterback, I'm on board with you there. I feel like JSN, because he's a primary target, just don't forget they did go out and get a Cooper Kupp. So they have to feed him too. There's only one ball to go around.
But no DK Metcalf, no Tyler Lockett.
Right. Well, they just, they just...
No Noah Fant.
Right. They just they just replaced it with Cooper Kupp. So, yeah, I could see him get some volume his way. But again, this is a Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet-based offense. Definitely trending up for those guys, especially Zach Charbonnet, knowing Ken Bones Walker is so, injury-prone.
So Seattle Seahawks running back stock up.
Yes.
Tyler Warren, we just talked about him before. Again, he looked great for the quarter he was in, continues to shine. Reports have even suggested that he might lead the team in targets. So, yeah, I think he could be a nice little value pick.
Yeah.
Still risky, but a nice pick at the end.
Guys, I would say 2 years ago, going into 2023, the rookie tight end used to not do anything. They wouldn't even be a factor. We're in new times now. You have to adapt. Charles Darwin, survival of the fittest.
There you go.
Sam Laporta started it.
Laporta.
You got Brock Bowers last year, Bauer Rangers, and now you got Tyler Warren. We'll see, but it's looking bright for him, especially, like we mentioned, Daniel Jones as a starter. It does help him out.
Yeah, I mean, listen, in the end, these are the guys we're seeing right now in preseason. Like, we already know, some of the other players, other key players that we could talk about on these offenses.
Right.
Like Jonathan Taylor.
Correct.
Or the Michael Pittmans. But, yeah, seeing these other guys like TreVeyon Henderson, another one, he scored a 2nd touchdown. So now he's being drafted around the 4th round. For me, I'm not going to lie, a little too rich for my taste, as you would say.
Yeah, we did discuss this before recording that TreVeyon Henderson, I know, has put on a lot of highlight tape. But right now, 4th round, again, I agree with you, too rich for my blood. Can he be a sleeper? Can he break out? Absolutely. But after a while, as his value goes up, now he has to supply 4th round value, right?
Yeah, exactly.
In the 4th round, you're looking for your wide receiver 2, maybe your starting quarterback, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts. So you miss out on those points, putting it all on TreVeyon Henderson. He better be a stud or at least an RB2 at that, value.
Definitely.
And you're drafting a guy that's sharing a backfield with Ramondre Stevenson.
So, and then let me ask you this, because like you said, TreVeyon Henderson right now is getting drafted a little higher than expected. So here's some of the guys he's being drafted around. I want you to tell me, who would you rather? TreVeyon Henderson is being drafted around James Conner. TreVeyon Henderson or James Conner? Who would you rather?
James Conner. I know it sounds crazy, but they have a weaker schedule. Right now, I don't have to worry about anybody in the backfield for the Cardinals.
True.
Maybe Trey Benson, but he ain't taking touches away from a stud like James Conner. James Conner is probably an eligible keeper somewhere in someone's draft if it's a 3 or 4 keeper, league. So for me, I'm going with James Conner all day. I know he's done it before. And TreVeyon Henderson, as good as he looks right now he's hype. Yeah. I have to see him do it in a real game. And he's sharing let's not forget.
Sharing with Ramondre Stevenson, who just got a 2-year extension. He's
Exactly.
in there for the long haul. So now,
Right.
what about another one? In terms of straight value,
Yeah.
who would you draft? TreVeyon Henderson or Garrett Wilson? Because they're being drafted around the same time. An even better one, TreVeyon Henderson or Marvin Harrison Jr.
Well, let's get through the Wilson one. So right there, I would probably go Henderson just because of the scarcity of the position. And that alludes to what I'm going to say. What happened to this past Saturday was, Justin Fields did not look good, right? So it really doesn't matter that Garrett Wilson can be a stud and can be better than Malik Neighbors and can be third to Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. It does not matter if we cannot get him the ball. So between that one, I go with TreVeyon Henderson, more run-centric offense.
So then TreVeyon Henderson or Marvin Harrison Jr.
And I believe that's the toughest.
The value for me, I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr. I agree.
You know what? I agree with you.
I have to take it.
Well, you have to take it, but also too, second-year wide receivers are the best bet to make your bed with, just because, and a first-rounder nonetheless has the bloodline, and in a pass-centric offense. Really, in that offense, all you have to worry about is Trey McBride. And there's been reports that they even want to get MVJ the ball. So for me, I agree, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, so to me, like that's really where you're looking at. Like in terms of value, you got guys like that all over the board. So yeah, TreVeyon, temper your expectations, but of course he could be a league winner also.
Yeah.
Ricky Pearsall, another guy, came in for a quarter, 3 catches, 42 yards, 4 targets, looked great, crisp route runner. You were right. I saw what you were saying about him.
Yeah.
It's spot on. And I think he is, we're going to talk about him in a little while, but he is something to keep an eye out for.
Yes, I totally agree with you on all those points. And I gave you a little synopsis of what I really think about him. And he could see definitely daylight coming this year with all the injuries and stuff like that. Some real opportunity.
Now with Ricky Pearsall and Brian Robinson Jr., now the 49ers have 2 guys that have been shot.
Yeah, they're rolling
Many men.
50 Cent, many men, So, no, hey, listen, at least you know that they're mentally strong. So
Definitely.
We'll give them that, and hopefully it works out for them.
Ashton Jeanty now finally living up to the hype. What the fuck's with this fly, dude?
Yeah, really.
Ashton Jeanty finally living up to the hype in week 2. 7 rushes for 33 yards and a tutty, but he had a monster truck stick that went viral, and everyone was like, okay, this kid can play. He is strong, fast.
And I was just going to allude to this, when we brought up TreVeyon Henderson. I feel like someone whose value is being overvalued as well.
Yeah.
I know Ashton Jeanty is real good, and he was real good at Boise State. He has the draft capital. He was taken with a high pick. We get all of that. But for me, I feel like it's too good to be true. Bad offensive line. Myke, last year, the Raiders ranked 30th in protecting the quarterback and the running back. So for me, did they revamp the offensive line? Of course, but it's a new system.
Mm-hmm.
You're with Geno Smith, so that makes it a little bit better. And we have to worry about Brock Bowers. Is he going to be taking those passes away? Because like the Titans and the Bengals, the Raiders' defense, not too good.
Not too good.
So are they going to be in more passing situations? That's my question. But time will tell.
Yeah, I think you got to really look at the value there, because Ashton Jeanty, again, he's being drafted around Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derrick Henry, Nico Collins.
I've seen
a lot
people,
of talent on the board there.
I've seen people go as high as 103.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's a little crazy.
Yeah. But people like the new toys.
They do. And he is, I'm not going to lie, he does look badass in that jersey.
He does.
Len, you got to show a clip of him coming out of the tunnel. This was unbelievable. Like, I saw the clip from behind. I'm like, wow, this guy behind. No homo, but I said this guy is going to be something special. Yeah. So we were touching a little bit on the Jets before. Well, let's get back to that, because that was one offense that I thought looked putrid. And I was getting sick to my stomach, because I've seen these guys play so many times where you have all this hype behind their offense, and then it comes out so underwhelming, to say the least. I mean, I think that the pass catchers are in major trouble really just Garrett Wilson, but major trouble over there. And
it got so bad that I've never seen this before. They had a players only practice on Tuesday. That's how bad it was for them on Saturday. I hope they get to adjust, fix things, adjust the playbook. But Justin Fields did not look good at all. This also makes me temper my expectations on Justin Fields. Those people who thought he was a late round value and, can do it a lot on his, rushing capability. I mean, we have to get first downs. Let's just be real, right? To even get to that, rushing for touchdowns. He looked really good in the first preseason game.
Great.
But, to get to that point, you got to get first downs. A quarterback eventually has to throw. And if we cannot make simple, fundamental throws, I don't want you.
They weren't lining up for any passes, and it just I don't know if they're hiding it and they're just not, showing too much during the preseason. But from what I saw, they looked like they were avoiding passing at all costs. And that's what concerns me for, like, Garrett Wilson and maybe even trying to take Justin Fields. Because there was a point in time where I was considering taking him in, like, the 7th, 8th round. I don't know anymore, man, because...
I mean, for me, Mike, he's definitely off my draft board. Now, if you're telling me as my QB2 and a late bye-week filler, let's say you get one of the big guns, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, sure, I have no problem with a flyer, 9th, 10th round. But to be your QB1, no. And then we got to play TJ Watt week 1. I'm not feeling it. Can things happen? Absolutely. But as what we have to go, but what we see, and what we've seen is not enough from Fields yet.
And then, so that's on the Jets side of the ball. Let's go to the other side of New York. The Giants, who actually just scraped the floor with us.
Oof.
I think that their offense is looking a lot more desirable. Starting with Tyrone Tracy, our NJ Gourmet ambassador, Tyrone Tracy. He actually looked bigger and faster out there. And I'm not even gassing it up. I'm not saying it because of the food and how he eats our meals. I'm not saying it for that reason. I'm specifically saying for the fact that it was true. If you saw him on the field, he looked sharper, he looked better, he looked confident.
Yes.
Last year he dropped the ball a couple of times, but he looked stronger. And I'm sure Malik and Wan'Dale Robinson maybe even, and then obviously Cam Scatterbo, all these guys are going to shine.
Yeah, no, I think Tyrone Tracy, Cam Scatterbo, even they had this running back Ward, last night in the Patriot game that honestly made a play too. They're looking good right now, and especially Jaxson Dart. A lot of people I heard on the telecast, it reminds them of Josh Allen. And who did Dable work with before he came to the Giants was Josh Allen. So if the Giant fan could have hope of one day Jaxson Dart being a Josh Allen, I think that sky's the limit. And you know how I feel about Dart. When he came out, I knew, I felt good about it.
We were calling him our number one quarterback after Cam, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it was, Cam Ward, Jaxson Dart, and Shador. Obviously, teams felt elsewhere, but yada, yada. We're here now, and Dart looks good.
Yeah, man.
He loves throwing a tight end.
Oh, yeah, he's good. I think in general, the guys are safe over there. Stock value up for receivers, all skill players in New York, or for the Giants, not the Jets, but for all skill players in the Giants, all stock up right now.
Absolutely.
Lastly, you also mentioned the Shador Sanders thing. Just side note, did you realize that they're pretty much saying that the NFL did blackball him and told everybody basically, like, listen, don't draft this guy?
No, I could see that, and I heard that, and it did happen. I mean, there's no way that all these teams pass you up when, I mean, he's better than some people that have a job right
he's
now.
Looked good, man.
He's not better than Trubisky. He's not better than Mike White. Come on, he's not better than Zach Wilson. He is. Yeah, don't give me that.
So, and one of the last things, I think you'll love this one. The Bears' new Ben Johnson offense accumulated 528 total yards in that game. Listen, they beat the Bills 38-0. It's preseason, sure, but if this is a taste of what their offense might look like, to me, something special.
Someone who I feel like can really pass Tyler Warren is Colston Loveland. He looked great for the first time this past Saturday.
But even Cole Kmet got some touches.
Right, he got some touches.
Yeah,
of course. And you have to truly believe into the offense. I feel like the Bears have better skill position and better play calling than the Colts, right?
Definitely.
The Colts, Tyler Ward, not that he's not a bad man either, but like he's a dog. It's just that there's less competition for targets.
Yeah.
Now you might say, well, Puma, why wouldn't you just go automatically to Tyler Warren? But that's not how fantasy works, right? Tyler Warren could be a great PPR, player, but Loveland could get you the big touchdowns. And that's the capability. That's why the Bears brought, Caleb Williams to Chicago with the number 1 pick. Is in USC, he was able to give those players those big play capabilities, like a DJ Moore, maybe a Luther Burden down the road, Roma Dunze. So I feel like with Ben Johnson calling the shots, and as they get better together, watch out for Colston Loveland.
Yeah, and I think Loveland right now is great value in the draft. I also think that all Bears players are great value. Roma Dunze, I think, is great value.
Yeah.
And even Luther Burden the third, and if you want to go in the double-digit rounds and snag him up real quick, you can even get DJ Moore in the 5th round. So
definitely build your bench with some Bears stashes for sure.
one of the last things we wanted to give you guys is what Puma and I decided was our best fantasy draft value right now. So who do we see on the board that has the best value at their draft position? Starting with you, Puma.
With me, it's Pretty Ricky Pearsall. Pretty Ricky. Myke, he did not have a great, debut to his season 2024 with the 49ers, but was taking first round, 31 overall. He is a first round talent. Like I've told you in the past, great route runner. He's a consensus 32. He was wide receiver 81 last year. You know what that means for us guys taking him? We could take him in the 10th and 11th round and stash him. You know why? Because San Francisco has the number 1 easiest schedule in the league for wide receivers. Number 2, he has a clear path. Fantasy, the thing that we ask for is opportunity, right? No Brandon Ayuk for 6 weeks. You have Jawan Jennings hurt with a hamstring. Marcus Robinson, had that DUI charge last season. He's suspended for 2 games. Do you have a clear path for Mr. Pearsall? Body armor and all. I feel like he's going to be our most undervalued player and breakout candidate of the year. Can be a league winner for Mr. Brock Purdy and your fantasy team. Go with Mr. Ricky Pearsall in the 9th round.
Yeah, man, his value is really, overlooked for sure. And I think you got a nice taste of him at the end of last year that I'm really want to see. Remember what was that game? He had like 140 yards or something like that.
Oh yeah, he was like killing. I think it was Carolina, something like that. Like I gotta look it up, but he did absolutely work. He was an animal that day.
So unbelievable. I mean, so the guy I want to go with, I wanted to do something a little more outside the box because I'm always talking about running backs and wide receivers, but I had to go with a guy that really stood out to me over these last 2 years, and I'm talking about David Njoku, young tight end of the Cleveland Browns. Actually, he's 28 years old, 29 years old. But if you know, David Njoku is more like, David, I'll choke you. Like, this guy is massive. You ever seen him in the locker room? How big he is and fast. He's a strong guy, and he's got great hands. In 2023, when he played with Joe Flacco for 5 games, David Njoku recorded 30 receptions, 390 receiving yards, and 4 touchdowns, including an ass-whooping to the New York Jets. During this late season stretch, the tight end, Njoku, he averaged about 18.2 PPR game points per game. So what a strong rapport he had with Joe Flacco, and this took people to the championship and possibly even won them their leagues in 2023. This was all during that final stretch of the season. So Njoku now is starting off healthy. He's with Joe Flacco again, reunited, and he's getting drafted in the middle of the 8th round. I'm not one to go over tight ends early, but the 8th round, if I can get a tight end 1 like this, you best believe I'm going to pull him. So David Njoku is my favorite fantasy draft value for 2020.
I love David, for you, Myke. And, he was a late bloomer, coming out of the U. It took him 5-6 seasons to actually break out.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see it. I mean, he, like you mentioned, 2 seasons ago was his best season. And in Njoku, we trust. I liked it. I liked it. Not bad for the people to keep value.
Well, that'll about do it, guys. We gave you all the news, all the notes. And what else we got, Puma? Anything else?
No, I mean, other than our best values, it's time to do a little mock.
Oh, mock draft time. You'll see that in the next episode. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. We got more subscribers and counting. Please send it to your friends, your family, whoever.
Your mother.
Your mother.
Everybody.
Again, that'll do it. Thanks for being with us.
Master your game.